All right, welcome back. This is a little bit of a surprise. Same day, you can see I'm still wearing the same blue shirt. I don't know when this will go out. But all of a sudden, everybody left the house. And when you're somebody who doesn't go outside or leave the house or avoid sunlight like it's the plague, sometimes you get a surprise opening to do some more Darklands instead of getting vitamin D. So here's to keeping this pasty glow. All right, so last time we managed to take down a Rowbritter, but not without cost. We lost the guy with the dumbest name in my group, so rest in peace, stupidly named guy. And of course, apologies to anybody that shared that name. Is this the right one? Because I think I made my way back to Frankfurt. And so, but it was nice to get out into the wild. I kind of wonder why moderate sized. I'm curious why some of these are bigger and red. But in taking down a Rowbritter, we got ourselves some plate armor. We got ourselves a two-handed sword. We're all healed up, and I feel like... So the trick to this game is it's nighttime. So let's you know what? Let's spend the night in the inn. Let's treat ourselves. We're worth it. Yeah, you know, what I should be doing is I should be prepping. I'm running a game tonight. I'm actually running tonight's game of, hopefully it happens, but Deus Vult. Is this backwards? No, it's okay. This is the book from Legend, from Mongoose Publishing. This is like the player's guide. It's called the Sacerdos Custos. I think you can still buy this. I don't know if it's PDF or not, but you can still get a hold of this. There's also the Game Master's Guide, which you definitely sort of want both. I guess I need to have a fixed focus length here. Really, really cool idea. Really cool setting. It's executed, I think, pretty well. And, you know, you could run any type of game you want. They talk about, like, you could run it like spies, conspiracy, high action. The ones I've tended to run have been very investigative. You know, you sort of come to a place and there's sort of like a mystery going on. It uses, you know, and then there's some companion books and stuff. Like I managed to grab Shadow Societies. There's a sort of a campaign, Rune. I don't know how to pronounce the French city. It's all sort of based on the Legend role-playing system, which is like a rune quest. Am I saying the right? Yeah. I think it's all based on that in some degree. This you can get, I think, either for free or for $1 from DriveThruRPG in PDF form. So the basic rules are pretty simple. And it's a pretty good system for a D100, that kind of thing. But as I said, I don't run it in D100 anymore. I've converted everything to Savage World. So I use a bit of the Horror Companion for sanity rules. And the rest comes from the main rulebook and the Fantasy Companion, which they just released a new version of. This rulebook is about to get updated to the 5th edition or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. But my Kickstarter, my PDF has been delivered, but the Kickstarter hard copy has not yet been delivered. So yeah, and then I pull from the Fantasy Companion. For a while, the Fantasy Companion was in flux for Savage World, so I used stuff from Pathfinder, and so it's sort of a hodgepodge of that. But if you don't know anything about RPGs, specifically Savage Worlds. Was I saying Pathfinder the whole time like an idiot? Savage Worlds is, I found, so flexible. Yeah, it's, I don't want to say it's a joy to convert stuff to, because that makes me sound like some kind of sicko, but converting Deus Vult was a breeze. Converting my 2300 M space stuff was pretty much a breeze. So anyway, we're all big fans of Savage Worlds here at Black Lodge Trivia Night. So maybe one day, you know, we've already done a Bookhouse Boys my hope is that someday we have a Book House Boys when all three of us can make it. That is Savage Worlds, because I think we're all pretty big fans. But anyway, enough of that. So the trick with this game is that it is truly sort of a sandbox. You know, we've done what we can here. And so one of the things I was thinking about doing is actually going back to Speyer, because our reputation is so high there. Let's see if it'll let us walk out. That it might, whoops, just walked right into, that it might open up some meetings. We'll take meetings, you know. I'm hoping to let us take meetings that we might not be able to take. Like Frankfurt, where our reputation is only like 18. I think that's Mainz. I think that's definitely not Speyer. I think we got to keep going south. You encounter a small group of refugees. Men and women trudge along with all their clothes. Oh. Staggering from sickness, a few are on litters. Even children struggle along wearily. Okay. What can we do? Whoa. Hey, not my problem. All right. Let's avoid them. No. We're going to... I wish we could lead them in prayer. I don't know. Cure disease. I guess that's a healing. The refugees are pathetically grateful. The plague has destroyed our village. Only we have survived, and then by fleeing, says their leader. You see how sick they are and wonder if they have indeed survived. Still, for your aid, they bless your name and promise to pray for you. The virtuous glow of Christian charity makes the entire world seem a better place as you journey onward. What? No skill bump? My charitable act did not have positive benefits for me? This game blows. So yeah, let's see if we can get back down to Speyer. I mean... So I think this is the Worms one or whatever. Worms is it? Again, butchering these towns. So let's keep making our way south. Ahead you see a few heavy wagons moving slowly along the road, guarded by a small party of soldiers. As you get closer, it appears to be a small merchant caravan. I wonder if we can do both. Let's see if they have anything that's... It's an expensive military hammer, but of course we're on the road, so I guess it makes sense the prices might be a little higher. Okay, we don't need anything like that. Let's see if we can travel with them, just to see what that's like. After discussing the possibility for a while, they are uninterested. Okay. They don't trust us. I get it. I wouldn't trust this either. Then I guess we're okay. You watch the caravan continue on its journey and disappear into the distance. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here, I don't know how noticeable. It's possible in theory to play this game using... This is going to be a lot of nonsense unless you're like an old PC gamer. It uses the Sound Blaster family of sound cards for digital sound effects, like the clanks of armor, the woman saying, "Welcome to Darklands." The music on the Sound Blaster is not as good as the old MIDI card, the Roland MT32. I don't remember what it was called. In theory, with all this emulation, you're able to potentially get the best of both worlds. I've tried it with like manual things that I saw on the interwebs. I couldn't get it to work. What would happen is that the sound, the music would switch, but I'd lose all the digital effects, even though I was supposed to be able to do both. The nice thing about DOSBox SVN Daum, or whatever this is called, is it has more menu controls, and it lets you... Let's see if it'll let us walk in. Yeah. It lets you sort of choose different sound cards, and I can't tell if it's doing both at the same time. I haven't been able to tell. I will say, when I've listened to it in the past, the music with the Roland is better. And I mean, if we're being, objective in 2023, the digital sound effects are nothing to write home about. So maybe the better music, because you're hearing it all the time, is worth it. I have no idea. That would have to be a personal preference. Let me get my my stuff ready. Okay. So let's make sure we have the right party info respected. So let's see if we can take some meetings. Let's see what the political center has to say. The Stadtplatz, the main city square of Speyer, is clean and orderly. Looking around, you decide to... see if anybody's got a job for us. Nope. Let's see if... So I wonder if that's truly random or if it's truly a thing about fame. Cities in a contented slumber, which is kind of nice in a weird way. We know there's a dragon off to the northwest of somewhere. Again, I should have wrote it down. Let's see if there's any... Okay, that's going to be about the curfew. Okay, everyone is talking about the mines near Speyer. Oh, it's right around here. It is said the miners have stopped working because of knocker attacks within the mines. Blacksmiths and guildsmen are worried about metal supplies, while friars and preachers excite everyone's fears and superstitions. The miners are rumored to offer a reward to anyone who can solve the problem so they can work again. Well, that sounds like a job for us. I just, what I want to do if that's the case... Main Street... Oh, it's nighttime. Let's head to the inn. Let's have a spa day. And let's, I want to go to the markets because I want to get some, like, non-beat people to death supplies. For instance, torches. Let's get a couple of those just in case it helps. 3, 4. Got 854. Is there... flute? No, I was hoping for some like rope. Let's see if there's foreign traders. Let's see. No. Oh, a longbow. Oh, 1,300. I mean, but yes, a longbow would be nice. I wonder if there's like... what are the pistols? Arbalest? I don't know what they're called. I wonder where you can get those. Oh, lockpick. Oh, they've got some... I think we've got some of those. Okay. Oh, they've got some zinc. I think that's one I have not recognized from... I don't know if we got any of that, but, you know, get it, right? Why not? We got some pure gold. I wish there was a place to buy rope, though. That would be nice. Wonder if there's anything in the pawn shop. I read something about this pawn shop somewhere, and I don't remember what it was. When I was looking up how, you know, the stuff about armor. Rope, there we go. This came up for some reason. Now I don't know if 2 helps, but let's get a couple. I don't know if iron spikes help. Let's get a couple. I mean, it's definitely old school essentials kind of stuff going on. Oh, I wonder what a clock could do. Oh, yeah. I mean, grappling hook, of course. Okay. Well, I feel like we got some basic adventuring gear. We're here to take meetings. Let's see what happens if we go to the bank area. The Medicis, the Hanseatic League. I don't know if one's better than the other. In the office of the Fugers, the greatest banking house in Germany, you discuss your business with the senior clerk and... Let's see if they'll give it to us. Nope. Okay. I'd like it, again, like it doesn't mean anything, right? I love the fact that there's, you know, you can add like flavor text to how you leave the building, you know, this Santa goes out the front door, or, you know, slip out the back like a thief into the night for no reason. It's broad daylight. Let's slip out the back. Let's go to... Maybe we can try one of the other places. Let's try the Hanseatic League Hall. Inquire politely, or do we just pull the... Do you even know who I am? Brashly proclaim your fame and ability to do anything the League might require. Let's chat with the clerks a bit. Spend an hour trying to converse pleasantly with the clerks, but they are clearly bored with your prattle, as probably that hits a little close to home, is very meta. Let's inquire politely. A junior clerk informs you that the Masters of the League and Speyer have an extremely full schedule for the immediate future. Okay. Let's leave the main door. Let's try the Medicis. I'm sorry, but Adalbert Goethe is quite busy with some important matters. I'm sure you understand. Okay, so we're not there yet. I think it sounds like the mines around Speyer need help. Let's see if we are able to survive that. So yeah, let's walk out the front door. And, so what I'm going to do is, I don't know if it's going to help any. I'm going to pull up the map because I want to see if... Okay, so we're started here, made our way there, over to Mains, down. So it looks like the hills are to the west. That's basically what I was trying to find is like, which way would I go hunting for the mine? So it looks like to the west over here is more hilly terrain. So let's give that a shot. It feels like we should be able to follow a road to the northwest into the hills. But I'm not sure. Oh, is that it? You know what? It is 20. Again, the keypad does not work. 0904 23 15 14. Oops, I'm just walking. The mine of Rammelsburg is a cluster of shacks. Despite the squalid look, miners are highly skilled and professionals. They live here only when hard at work, not year-round. But no work is going on now. About 20 miners come out and look at you. One steps over to talk. I am Gregory of Gumpenberg, the head miner. Have you come to help us, says he. What is wrong, asks Sieghard. He replies, for years we have worked this mine. We knew about the knockers, elves of the mines, and have often heard them rapping at tunnel walls. We rarely saw them, however. The miner continues, some said the knockers rapped at the walls to warn us of cave-ins or coal gas. Others said they rapped to tempt us into danger. Perhaps they did both at different times, but we always left bread, milk, and beer for them. We wanted no trouble. Now they war on us. We have seen them hobbling on stunted legs. They chatter with rage and cast evil spells. We must close the mine, but we know no other trade, own no other mine. The classic, wives and kids will starve, can you help? Will absolutely help. We're just gonna go. No, let's see if they have anything to sell. Okay, some alchemical, that makes sense. But let's enter the mines. Now the mines, right, okay, so I don't know what exactly that means. I just know that saving is going to be a lot trickier. My understanding is that, okay, first of all, I need to get out my clue book. My understanding is that these are sort of randomly generated, procedurally generated, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it generates it when you enter the mine or... So my fear is that I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to move the whole group when I'm not literally in combat. But my fear is that the answer might be no. So I'm just sort of looking at the card right now really quickly to see if there's anything. Orders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cursor keys, yeah. Yeah, I was just hoping there'd be a way. Oops, I got to again mic technique. Blah blah blah. G, group mode, single file. Oh, interesting. Q is single file. That could be useful. Let me see what happens if I do that. Travel in single file. I don't care as long as it moves them in a group. I'm curious, like save game. Can I save game here? Let me just mine entrance. I'm just going to do that for now. Oh, okay. I was about to say, did something happen? Okay. So, I mean, it's kind of cool, right? Like you sort of explore and like older games did this, you know, you even like the old Ultimas, you had like the overworld map and then you had the dungeon map for at least the first 5 on some level. I don't know. Someday, you know, I don't know if people can you use stuff. Open chest, use doors. Let's see if we can use door. Okay, so maybe that's just a wall. Oh yeah. There we go. So you saw a little thing that says near door. Then I hit the U key and it popped it open for me. Okay. Looks like some wheelbarrows full of stuff. I don't know if like searching is a thing you can do. Oh, you can surrender. Probably should know that one, right? Because I'm so bad at combat. Okay. Well, let's check this room out and see if anything comes of it. The Ultima games, I don't know if it's worth revisiting Ultimas 1, 2, 3. Ultima 4 was kind of a landmark. Can you do anything with these? Because of what it tried to do with story, you know, it sort of played with expectations in that sense. I don't know if that's enough to the 5th one for me, and again, it might be sort of you know, you always remember your first. The 5th one for me is the one that I hold the most dear. I hold it almost to the same regard. Maybe it's a higher regard in some ways than this game. And I obviously love this game. So, but again, it's one of those things like, I don't know if I'd want to, just like I'm not promising here, I wouldn't want to promise all right. So we've got something going on. I think we got some of these rats. What I think we need to do is remember we can get enemy info. Oh, okay. I was about to say, they seem pretty big for rats. This might go poorly. So let's see if we can. Nope. See if we can missile a little bit. Nope. Just get anybody who can missile, let's missile. And anybody who can't, let's move. And what is... It's interesting. I was looking to see if there's like a keyboard shortcut to move back to sort of move mode. But it doesn't look like it. I think... so 4, I want to move here. And 2, I want to... I don't know if it's worth it, but here we go. Okay, so now let's see if we can get one last shot. We need 2 missile. And let's see if 4 can also give us a missile for old time's sake. 1, it's time to give up on that dream of firing twice in a combat. Let's see what we can do. Get the halberd going, but again, we don't want the halberd leading the charge, right? We want to have them engaged and have that guy come in with his halberd after the fact. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, let's get some more firepower on this. Okay, hopefully everybody's doing some kind of melee attack. I'm curious how... Okay, so I'm curious if, like, Henry is actually not going to be able to attack because of space limitations. C card's getting wrecked. Let's see if we can get Henri into the fight now. It's not the strongest opening. Oh, there's more. Crap. Doing decent damage, but if this bear is on Henri, that might go poorly. It's better than being on C card, though. Okay. Not terribly important, but I will say that that could have gone much worse. I don't know who I gave bows to. Eckhard, maybe? I can parse it out later, I guess. So let's go back to, okay. Let's just go back to single file. I wonder if it'll let us save again. Now that combat's over. So we'll get by this door and see what happens. Oh, but you know, it was mostly, okay. I was about to say it was mostly endurance damage. So that came back, so that's good. But here you can sort of get an idea of like, you know, what exploring a dungeon can be like. And it's, you know, it's clumsy. I wonder if there's change marching. I think we got a decent marching order. It's clumsy. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if these are doors. Let's get close to one and see if it gives us the option. Okay, so this might just be a dead end room. Well, whatever. A room. You know, it's one of those things I was saying, like, you know, I've got some new gear and I have to dial it in. I think last recording, part 3, I might have had the wrong settings on, so it might sound a lot more boomy. I don't know if this is the right thing to go for, but I'm always trying to go for, I'm not trying to sound like I'm on, you know, FM radio. I just wanted to sound kind of what my voice sounds like in real life, but about 20% less irritating. And I've found that with some effort, I've gotten the SM7B to kind of do that, at least to my ear. And I want to get this to the same place because I feel like this is also potentially a really, really nice option. So this one being a condenser mic, it's going to, in my, oh, whoa, near a door. Oh, right. It's going to sound more natural because it's going to get a little bit more detail, even though it's sort of accomplishing the same thing. And it's more important for these videos because I just don't shut up, right? If it's the three of us talking on a damn fine coffee or something or a game. Up another bear. All right. Does he not see us? Okay, I was about to say 1 attack, 2 attack. Let's see how it goes. They are engaged on the 27-minute flanking maneuver. I remember the original Baldur's Gate, when that came out, just the pathfinding was supposed to be just god-awful. So they, so they had to build in some stuff you could enter. You could change some numbers for like the pathfinding. If you had a better computer, your computer could do the calculations needed for the more advanced pathfinding. So what I think I'm seeing here is that this two-handed sword might be good, but I'm taking such a beating that it might be worth going back to like a longsword and a shield when am I not carrying? Oh yeah, there it is. I was going to say. So let's try that. Because again, the main, like, if we're sort of dungeon crawling here, we gotta survive. We can't just take it in the teeth in the first 2 fights. Nope. There we go. Again, I'm just saving after every fight because, like I said, I save scum. Proudly. But yeah, I just remember when I first got the Baldur's Gate and you would have there's one of the early, the Kobold mine invasion of the mines of Nashkel or whatever. That's such a good game. Even for its time, like it did a lot of really, CRPGs. This is well known, well trod CRPG knowledge. But when Dark Souls, when Baldur's Gate came out, CRPGs were against the ropes. Is because I think the last really big one before Baldur's Gate for me was Fallout. Oh, trap. Whoosh. A slab of stone pivots under your feet as you slide down into a pit. And you slide down into a pit. You are left below to await whatever hideous doom the dwarves devise. Will they bake you to death, dissolve you in a quicklime, drop deadly adders into the pit? You don't want to find out, so here we go. Just stoically wait your doom. Interesting. We're pretty strong, so that might actually be possible. St. Peter would give us bonuses. I wonder if we can't call on saints because we just don't know any. Like if you literally start with 0, which seems crazy given he was like a friar for I don't know how long. Potion. Yeah, I was going to say that won't do anything. So this is why I wanted to get some rope and stuff like that because I didn't know I knew stuff like this could come. Let's see if this works. Placing your feet atop one another's shoulders with great care, you form a human pyramid. The hapless folk at the bottom grunt and complain under the strain, but Seacard at the top is just barely able to reach the lip of the pit. He scrambles out, then reaches down and helps the rest of you up. Soon you are free. Okay, so there we go. We did it. We escaped. Let's see. Single file. Now, if we had perception, we might be able to spot that trap. But that was not something I really focused on. And, now you can see it's not the end of the world. I don't know if we took some damage from it, though. You know what? I'm just going to keep save scumming. And the reason why I save scum is because life is too short to keep doing the same thing over and over if you don't have to. If you know what I mean, like sometimes, like in Dark Souls, that's the game. So you don't worry about it so much. In a game like this, like, once you clear a level, you clear a level. Like, what's the point of losing all of that just because, you forgot to save? If that makes sense. So, like, I don't know. That's how it strikes me, at least. Let's see. I'll be back in 1. All right, I'm back. One of the things I need to do is I need to figure out if I'm going to do this kind of game. There could be, Demon Souls, like I said, you could do in like hour, 20-minute chunks, and it only takes 10 of them, right? If I'm going to do something like this that's a little more freeform, sandbox, it could be longer. Like one thing I might do, and I don't know if anybody's going to care except for Matt. I don't know if Matt can play Starfield. Maybe he can. He has a PC. I don't know why he can't play Starfield. But he was asking if I might play Starfield, and I was like, yeah, I could do that. I'm going to play it anyway. 1 attack, boom. 2 attack, boom. 3 attack. But I thought I might put some of it up just to do it. Okay, let's see how he does with the longsword and the shield, if that's any durability, any survivability going on. Because that's a good chunk, 14. I don't know if that's the longswords or the warhammer. Man, I didn't take any damage there, so... It's only a sample size of 1, but... I'm just typing mines over and over and over because I think it sort of game time stamps it at least, so I'm hoping that's enough for me to see which one's the latest for now. I do wish there was a map. Maybe I shouldn't assume there isn't, but I don't think there is. Huh. Okay, so I'm looking at the, let me look at this. The other side, the keyboard commands. Apparently you can set up camp when you're on the overworld map. You can set up ambushes on the overworld map. I'm not sure if it's just you just set one up and you wait, or if you have to know there's something coming. I don't know. This is kind of... Part of me sometimes I'm like, just set the difficulty to easy, because the fun of this isn't, I did it, brah. It's, just showing and going through the game and experiencing it. I've already beaten it, so it's not like I've got anything to prove. Yeah, I don't know if I'm necessarily seeing a map. That's fine. I don't think these levels are huge. It's just, it could, So that's where we started. We've been there. You just sort of have to scrub around the... Because somewhere there's going to be a ladder, a door. Like, is there something we haven't seen? But I'm feeling like we saw a lot of it. I like that little touch, It's probably just atmospheric, but yeah, I'm not seeing where... If we're dealing with knockers... Juvenile giggle. I don't see where we would proceed to a lower level to deal with them. Oh, here we go. Let's go to over here. There's a door. So yeah, the knockers, they said, were sort of like mine elves, but I think because of this is sort of like more traditional folklore. I don't... Oops, where am I? Oh yeah, there's a door there. I don't believe this is necessarily like traditional elves. I feel like they're going to be more like dwarves, or like those sort of like those gnomes that people put on their lawns, and like Travelocity used it as a mascot or something. Let's pop that door. Okay, so that looks like a door. That means business, right? So maybe that's to a lower level. I don't know how, if it's like standard, how many levels like a mine has, like if it's always 4 or 7. Okay. A grim iron door blocks your way. Above the door is carved, "All statements are true. Name Tifson's folk" to open the door. On the door are embossed 6 statements. "All kobolds love to drink rust wine. Tifson is Hundit's child. Hourly, Tifson calls out the correct time from the depths of his lair. Tifson is either a gnome, a dwarf, or a kobold. Hundit hates rust wine. No gnome is ever truthful." So we definitely have some contradictions, right? So if you have "all kobolds love to drink rust wine," Hundit hates rust wine, so therefore Hundit is not a kobold. Okay. Tifson is Hundit's child. Okay. So he's not a kobold. No gnome is ever truthful. I feel like that's sort of a big one. So that would be tricky because how could you call out the correct time if you were a liar? So we know he's not a kobold. We probably know he's not a gnome. Let's just, I saved it, so who cares? So he must be a dwarf, right? The door slides open. A stunted figure steps forth out of the shadows. You finger your weapons, ready for anything. An aggressive-looking dwarf glowers at you, his eyebrows bristling. You feel uneasy about him, so you... Excuse me, sir. I'm going to need to get by you. Just talk, should talk more. People... grumpily, the dwarf says, Malachi Fimbulejig, humans and kobolds have acted in friendship, but we dwarves have not. Now that the kobolds have sought to rebel from our mastery, we knew the humans must stop. Now the troubles in the mine make sense. The dwarves feared lest the kobolds would be assisted in their rebellion by the miners. If you could somehow end the rebellion, the miners' trouble would be over. Well, in games like this, usually the way you solve problems is you murder the problem. So, are the kobolds further down the mine? So I don't want to just... Who cares? I saved it, right? Let me push past him. Sneering, the dwarf replies, Othniel Higledy. Unwelcome trespassers, never could you and we ever be friends. Have you forgotten how you and the kobolds would us like to overthrow or rule to end? You ponder his words about the kobolds and move on. So I'm hoping I had to go further down for the kobolds. Let's see if it'll let me now use a ladder. How do you... Let me try you. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't want to be a jerk to the guy. That wasn't my intention. But I figured I had to get past him. Mine's 2. I gotta say though, if you can solve this by, conversing with the kobolds and having it be some kind of a check, that would be crazy. I would love that. And I wouldn't put it past this game because of the, as I've said it a million times, the way it uses menus to present information means that you can, if you want, do skill checks pretty easily. I mean, pretty easily. You know what I mean? It's probably not easy at all, but ooh. This could go very badly, but let's take him. Makes sense. Okay, so 1 missile, take your shot. 2, where are you? We need to get you in missile range. Okay, 2 missile, take your shot. 4, we need to get you. We need to get you out there. You know what? 1 attack, it's time. 2 attack, it's time. 3, 4. So now my fear is that we're going to get into things like poison, things like that. Okay, Halberd's getting in the fight, so that's good. All right. My fear with this is leaving. Like, do we have to actually traverse every step of the way? Because, you know, I talk a lot about Skyrim, and that's one of the, I think I'm gonna do some Starfield, and you know, not that it matters if I do it or not, but it'll be fun. Just want to make sure if there's like a button to search. But, you know, like, you know, Bethesda, there's sort of like the Bethesda and Larian Studios at the moment, you know, just to sort of date this playthrough. I mean, obviously you see from the save, it's 2023. Baldur's Gate 3, you know, released into full access about a month ago. Starfield came out last week, but I didn't want to pay for the early access for $30. So by the time I'm actually going to start playing through this, not that anybody's going to come to Black Lodge for that kind of coverage, but everybody's moved on. The early window's over. Everybody's, you know, got their reviews up, you know. It's old news. Okay, so we got a bunch of doors there that I'm just blowing by. The reason why I'd love an in-game map is I haven't played a game yet where it's obvious that I do this, but I have a tendency to, like, I need to uncover the whole map before I move on. Anyway, so yeah, I want to talk because, you know, one of the, you know, Skyrim, for all I talk about, like, oh, it can't, you know, paint a picture. But the quality of life quality of life touches they've added to Skyrim, even over previous Elder Scrolls titles, it just makes playing that game so easy in a good way. You know, you can set the difficulty down to, you know, toddler if you want, and that's fine. Is that another spider? Because I haven't saved in a while, so... Okay, 1 attack. 4 attack. 3. It's so easy to play an Elder Scrolls game. And one of the things, you know, that they really do a good job on, and it seems like something that's easy to take for granted, is having the dungeon end at an exit. You know, sometimes it'll wrap back around itself to let you leave the main entrance, stuff like that. But, oops. You know what? Let's set off some kind of trap. I don't know if it hit me. So let me save now that the trap is. And so we're not going to get that respect of our time from this game. It's part of why, like, I would love to try Daggerfall Unity. I'm really intimidated by it. These, I feel a little less intimidated because I've already beaten it, so I sort of know what I'm doing. Daggerfall Unity, I gotta say, is intimidating. It works so well, and if you've never given Daggerfall a shot, but it's one you've always wanted to try, Daggerfall Unity is the way to go. It's really well done. And there's some mods, I think, that really fix some stuff that could jam you up. But I still don't know if there's a way to get out of a... Because I've always heard the dungeons could be a little tricky, right? You know, in the original game, you could get stuck permanently. So... Ooh, 2. Now my fear is that can 4 get... Okay, so 1 you need to pull back. Oh, see, this is my fear, that 1 can't pull back. See if we can get some reach from there. No, still. Yeah, pull back. It's on me, but yeah, just pull back just a little. Nope, not letting you do it, huh? Can he reach with a halberd? Is that something that's doable? No. So I might have to reload because Sighard might go down. Sighard might go, even if he's this badly hurt, I might, you know what I'm talking about. Let's just do it. Okay, we need mines 2. Let's delete some. I feel like this is telling me it was midnight, you know, because I do stay up late, so let's get rid of that one. Let's try that one. That's fair. Okay. Q, travel in single file. Let's unlock this door. And I think this was a dead end, right? This is why I save scum, because, you know, now instead of having to redo this entire level, it's just walking back across this hallway to this door. Yeah, anyway, but I was talking about Daggerfall. You know, I started playing Daggerfall Unity, and I got through the starting dungeon, and I was so impressed. It was cool, you know, and you get out into the world, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like you know, if you don't know the game, you know, here we've got a map of like basically Germany, and somehow, I don't know if that's Tamriel, I don't know that continent. It's because it's the whole thing, right? It feels staggering, but I think it's not. Let's do that. So what I want to do is now I want to pull back. Pull back. Basically, I'm trying to kite. Yeah, we got to get back so that we can murder them as a team. Okay, I think I've done it. Let's what I'm hoping actually is that it works the other way. Like that spider jams up the one in back so it can't get to it. I'm hoping Henri can get some reach in there with his pole arm. I don't know if that's the case though. Nope, and now you can't move forward. So that okay. Can 4 get in there? Yes. Okay, that's good. Hopefully. If nothing else, at least when I'm going mano a mano, I'm not getting hit by 2 spiders, so I'm doing a little better solo with Sighard. Sighard and Eckhard. It sounds like a wrestling gimmick or something. Okay. Anyway, it's tough because because I'm like, oh, maybe that'd be a fun game to try streaming, because you know it's not like everybody's. That's the thing, like everybody's streaming Starfield, and I honestly, the irony of what I'm about to say will not be lost on me. I don't know why some people why sometimes you watch. I was messing around with Matt last night on we were trying Star Trek Bridge Crew. It was a lot of fun, and we streamed it just in case it's. But that's that feels a little different. This feels a little different, but like Starfield, everybody's probably playing as well as watching, and I think there were 26,000 people watching a Fextra live stream of Starfield, and it's just fine. So I check it out, and then here at least I talk too much, and it's in theory a bit of a weird title. So I can't tell if there's actually a way to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to single file it. Then I'm going to break off Sigrun, who's 3. And I'm going to have her... Maybe it was just too clogged. Or it was just a door to nowhere. That's my fear. But it seems like there could be more here. Oh, well. Okay. Or was it... Okay, hold on one second. Was the problem that it was paused? Yeah, I don't know. It's not... Where do I have to keep... I feel like I've done due diligence. So hopefully I'm not missing something blatantly obvious that's going to jam up the whole level. Okay. So I may have said this. I'm not 100% sure how long I can go for this session. This one was sort of sneaking it in. I just heard a car door. That's what I'm wondering. All right. Let's see. I know there's a bunch of doors I missed early on. I have not... I feel like I've... I feel like I've covered most of this, but then I saw this door here that I just walked past. So let's go check out that door. Anyway, like I said, I should have been prepping for tonight's Deus Vult game. Basically, at this point, the prep is, I do a lot of prep in VTTs ahead of time. And we've been running through this for a while. This is going to be our 7th session. So at some point, the work is done in that sense. What I should be doing, though, is I should be giving a quick skim of the Savage Worlds combat rules, which I really like. I'm not going to lie. So, at the same time, I've read the rule book. What I used to do is, because again, I over prep, I would read the rule book before every session I was going to run. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay, so we found how to get down to level 3. So the trick is, let's before we do, first of all, before we do that, let's Let's see if it'll let us just click here and then path find its way to... No. So then the question is, how do I do this? I guess let's try there. At least with with Baldur's Gate, with the pathfinding, what you could do is you could just... Icewind Dale is really good about this. You just scooch over to the map, like on the other side of the area, and just click it, and it'll, as long as the place is relatively clear, it'll get you there. And then you can sort of sit back and not worry about it too much. Here, I'm wondering if it needs a little more hand holding. Can I get here? No. Okay. Now am I close enough? Okay. What I should do, let me stop here. I'm going to save again because, again, I'm going to save scum. Nobody needs to watch me just wander the empty halls. But it's been fun. What I did was I took, what I do is I tend to take adventures, for all the work that I do. One of the things I often do is I take an adventure and I just sort of modify it, even if it's for a different system. And the adventure I'm running right now is from Shadow of the Demon Lords. There's a sort of like a cleric supplement, Unfaithful something. And it had actually what I thought was a pretty interesting little adventure. Can I go here? No. At the back of it to sort of get you into that part of the setting. And so because it's in the Unfaithful, the cleric, it's about the, the religions, deities and stuff of Shadow of the Demon Lords, it had sort of a quasi-religious theme adventure that I just sort of modified. I changed, whatever. It's about a shrine that exhibits sort of supernatural, demonic kind of properties. It's all about the story of this, this going on. And so, I changed it from whatever the Demon Souls, the Demon Lord lore is to Saint Sebastian, who was martyred, and made it a shrine of Saint Sebastian instead. And then once you do that, you just have to sort of rejig all of the names into Deus Vult / medieval religious whatevers. And that's one of the, Deus Vult. I don't know if it's the best option for that. I know there's like, one thing I tend to buy a lot of books when I'm going all in on something. There's Dark Ages Inquisitor. There's Cthulhu Dark Ages. There's different books that sort of cover. Whoa. Okay. So what we need to do is we need 2 to back up, 3 to back up. And then let's make some space to see if we can get this spider to come through the door. Okay, let's start going to town here. I don't know if the others are going to be able to reach, given the... I'll get in there with the pole arm, at least. I really... If I have to choose, I want... C card's taking a beating. I want... Henri to be in the fight over Sigrun, I think, because of the halberd. And anyway, yeah, I mean, so it was, I sort of converted that, whatever that adventure is in the Unfaithful, whatever, of Shadow of the Demon Lords. And I think it worked pretty well, if I had to guess. I've been having a good time. I think the players have been having a good time. It was just sort of like a nice little investigation kind of story. So it was a lot of fun. And we're starting to get near the end. It's one of those things where maybe this should be like a damn fine coffee topic. Like, the ending of an adventure, right? How do you do it? Trying to get somebody to use the door. Okay. Actually, it's sad. This is how much I'm going to save scum. Because opening that door was a pain in the ass, I'm going to save scum opening the door. Because so what's happening now in the adventure, and this is available to listen to if you want over on the Alcoholic Adventure Cabal. It's a Podbean feed of so you can go. I'm assuming you can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. I don't know how this stuff works. The podcast part of this Matt takes care of. I usually handle a lot of the video because it's my job. Here we go. Look at that. Whoops, there's no map. So where am I? So then that sort of raises the question, does that mean we've covered the map? That was a nice little touch, having that secret door there that let us get back to... Well, I wonder if it was meant to not get back to where we were going, but to help us progress. But that was cool. Okay. But yeah, so there's been 2 Days Vaults I've run on that feed. One is the original Days Vault, which was kind of a mess, and I think I talked about that on some of the podcasts here. So if you're curious how it went, I thought the adventure and it was fun, but running it was a mess. And I was trying to do some things like, first of all, I didn't when I started, I didn't really know VTTs. I was a little hesitant to use them, and so I would stream a physical map with like physical pieces and components. I think I have. Let me see. I sort of I made little figures. I know it's tough to see, but I don't want to put it too close because it'll be blurry. So there's no point. And this isn't autofocus, so like doing this won't help. But I painted these little figures, and then I put them on a real map, and it was actually kind of cool. It was fun. And I thought that would make it easier, like less between me and the game to run it. And then once I switched to VTTs for the maps and stuff, I was like, oh, this is actually easier. Once I fully embraced VTTs and learning them, I was really, really pleased with what they allowed you to do and how they work. Now, the first one I tried was Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds, and again, I think I was talking about this on Damn Fine Coffee. The real story is Fantasy Grounds did not have a Legends. Like I was saying, it's the Legend system. Like there was no Legend system on VTTs that I could find. And so what ended up happening was there's a thing on Fantasy Grounds called More Core. And More Core is sort of like this flexible base that you're supposed to be able to modify to kind of make your own character sheet. Now, Fantasy Grounds is very inflexible about how it presents information. Like the sheets, if you look at a Fantasy Grounds character sheet, you're looking at a Fantasy Grounds character sheet. Other ones will let you make them look a certain way, or, Fantasy Grounds isn't that inflexible, but it's more inflexible than some of the other ones I've seen. And More Core wasn't quite, it's not More Core's fault, but for what I was trying to do and what my players were willing to deal with, More Core wasn't good enough. And then like right at the last second, we had a thing where like I did it all in Fantasy Grounds Unity. All right. So we're getting our level, so to speak, because we've hit the end of the area. Okay. A door blocks your path. An inscription reads, numerals are replaced by letters. Different letters represent different numbers. Press H to open. Ooh, ooh, ah. Is this some kind of dwarf joke? In any case, 5 metal knobs are on the door, each bearing a number. Pressing the wrong knob may spring a trap. You ponder, then press. Huh. So what we're looking for is 2 numbers. Numerals are replaced by letters. Let me just try speak friend. And let me, numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that might not work. Different letters represent different numbers. Press H to open. So this is one of those things where if like you add 888 plus 888, you get 166. That's what I'm trying to figure out. The other thing is like if you just don't care, I think the answers are all in the clue book. Let me just think on it for just a second, but I'm not going to waste too much time on it. And part of the reason why I don't want to waste too much time on it, because I don't even know if I have the right train of thought, right? Let's see. My fear is that I guess I should just so we could try. So if we had 222 plus 222, we would have 4444, right? But I don't know what the H would be. Oh, we're trying to find what the H is. So okay, so 222. So if that was 888 plus 888, 666 plus 6, 666, because this game's all about devil worshiping. I'm going to use a calculator just to double check. 666 plus 666 equals 1332. Let's try 888 plus 888 equals 1776. So I'm not getting what I thought I would get. I don't even know if that's the right. So this is the problem. I don't know if I even have the right train of thought. So what I'm going to do is get this back up on my phone so I can see when people are coming home. So it's not just like, oh crap, like I'm getting caught doing something I shouldn't be, which I'm not. But so let me just, let's just see. Oh, it even says in the clue book, Roland, the original Darklands technical supplement suggested users could use the Roland MT32 for music alongside Sound Blaster cards for digital sound effects. At first, we couldn't imagine this, but then Jim McConkey, technical guru for Microprose, realized that due to the way our sound drivers interact with your hardware, simply renaming certain files would provide simultaneous support. So that was something I tried to do, and I didn't quite get it to work, but this clue book is really great. I don't know if the clue book... I think it's part of the GOG. They have like a scan. So this is puzzle 30. It has all the puzzles listed, in the back. You just have to figure out which one it is. I don't know how you would know this was 30, but I just see the hint. When 2 3-digit numbers sum to 4 digits, what is the first digit of that sum? I guess it could be 0. What's the first digit of that sum? That's the weird thing. Like H is not the first digit of that sum. I'm just going to look at C answer 12. I'm just curious. Okay. The letter A must be 1. Oh, is this just a literal? No, because H wouldn't be 8. It'd be H must be 0 is the answer. So the letter A must be 1. Right. That makes sense because it'd be 1,000. Therefore, working through the alphabet, O is 5. So if you had 555 plus 555, why would you have to work through the alphabet, though, to do that? It seems like you're working through numbers, not the alphabet. So what's 555 plus 555? Gives you 1110. So that was my mistake, thinking the O's had to be, because technically speaking, those O's could be F's. Like, it doesn't matter that it's an O, right? So the answer is 0. The door slides open. A stunted figure steps forth out of the shadows. You finger your weapons, ready for anything. So this is the tough thing about like old adventure games and stuff like this. Like, I could probably sit here for an hour and try and figure it out, but like, especially with the old adventure games, like, you didn't quite, it was just like, take the ham sandwich to the satellite, and you're like, wait, what? Why would I use the ham sandwich on the satellite? Once more, you see a short entity step up, but this time it is clearly no dwarf. Its sinewy form and gross tusks mark it as a kobold, one of the sinister mine goblins. It gibbers to you. We and the dwarves have come to blows, so we would like you now to choose which one of us will you support in our fine battle, else we'll lose. Wincing at the creature's doggerel, you think over what he has said and reply that you plan to. So here's the trick. I think what I was seeing was that the dwarves sort of enslaved the kobolds, and they're just kind of sick of it. That's what I thought I was seeing. Now, if I support the dwarves, like, everything goes back to normal and the mine can reopen. I don't know what happens if I support the kobolds. Like, can they earn their freedom and then huzzah? So you can read a section on the mines. So it says, mines frequently have dwarf puzzle doors. Yeah, okay. Determining the situation. Mine problems are caused by something inhuman underground. There's 3 possibilities. So what's going to happen, I don't know if we'll ever get to this point of the game. There's a lot that you can see in this game. But the more time you put, there's just so much they can do, right? So the more time you put into it, at some point, like, oh, which one is this? Is this a kobold? Is it one of these, or is it one of those, right? So the type of opponent in the first level of the mine is a clue to what situation you faced. Once past the first puzzle door, the statement you encounter will confirm the situation. Let's see. There might be the megalomaniac dwarf, the dark gate, or the dwarf kobold war. The situation summary. Here you discover that the mine is inadvertently linked to the separate homes of dwarves and kobolds. Mine layout. The first and second levels down in this mine are inhabited by bears and spiders. So that's sort of how you know which one you're dealing with. Okay. So basically it says you can go down to another level, and then you end up going down to more levels, and you're choosing either the kobold levels or the dwarf levels. If you go into the dwarf level, it marks the dwarves as hostile and pleases the kobolds. And then, you sort of make your way down to the bottom. There's like a final fight with many dwarves, including an overseer. If you defeat him, the war is ended, blah, blah, blah. The kobolds will give you some potions as a reward, so defeating the dwarves is more rewarding. However, the dwarves are slightly tougher opponents than the kobolds. So you sort of, not that you would know this going into it, but you sort of have a choice. Oops, sorry, I just banged the crap out of my stand. So I don't know if it actually, so this is the thing. I don't know if it actually matters who I help. So, I feel like if the spiders kick my butt, I feel like I'm not ready for whatever's down there. That's the problem. And so I'm tempted to pick helping the dwarves just to have a slightly easier time. The real problem is I think what I need to do is I think I need to go back to town, and I don't know what that means for this because I need to heal, right? I don't have health potions and stuff like that, which is probably something I should have figured out before I came down here, but I did not. Help the kobolds. Aha, you seek to help us. Fine, now I shall say which door to take. For should you take the wrongful door, you then shall make a great mistake. An iron door that's rusty red will lead you into our domains. The metal door, gold filigreed. I don't know actually how you pronounce that word. I've only ever seen it written. Doth open into dwarf terrain. Thus, to defeat the dwarves so vile, just utilize the golden door. Once through that door, old Voland, lord of all dwarf slaves, you'll meet for sure. So in my understanding, I thought the dwarves, like they're saying, were sort of slave runners here. The kobold chitters on. Voland is the only dwarf whose wrath the kobolds do respect. If you could slay or conquer him, then the dwarvish plans would wreck. You ask the kobold, how can we recognize Voland, the dwarf slave master? He retorts, fear not, you'll know old Voland when perchance he and thee should meet. He towers over other dwarves by 5 or even 7 feet. A giant dwarf? Your mind is boggled. The kobold turns and flees. You look about and see a dwarf also scurrying away around a corner. So there's the ladder down. Now you can set up camp on the overworld map. I wonder if there's any way to do that here. The button is F8. I don't know if it's going to let me do it. No. Okay. Let's just, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're getting deeper into the mines. Eckhart finds a secret door. I was going to say it looked like something was there, but I didn't know. That looks mine-ish, right? Got crystals that are whatever. Anyway, but yeah, you could get at some point I think, and this is true of games like you can't hold this against Darklands. At some point in like a GTA game or whatever, it's like I'm not doing another race or I'm not doing another, whatever. I don't know what the missions are, but you know what I mean, right? At some point you're just like, I've done this thing. I just want to do the main story. So you don't need to keep. I don't know what this is. So my fear is that whatever this is, what I should do, I keep forgetting that I have the option to get enemy info. Okay, this is a gnome. Natural armor is very good. Natural weapons very poor. So you can see this is not what you normally expect a gnome to look like. So as I said, my go-to moves to always over level. I have no idea if I've done that or not in this case. Like, should I be walking in with plate? I could have just grinded enough money to do that. It would have taken forever, but I just didn't. Should I have tackled a couple more Rowbritters? You know, but I don't know. So it's not letting me move in single file. So what I'm going to do is he's in better shape. So I'm going to have him explore. But the interesting thing is after every order, I have to keep. Like, it doesn't keep him selected. I have to keep selecting 4. Why is it not letting me? And I think when I hit the 4, it pauses. So you have to keep. So yeah, basically you have to choose which level you go down to, and that's going to sort of pick your side. The side you go down to is the side you're going to attack. So you know what I'm going to do? What are we looking at? We're looking at an hour and a half. Let me regather my party. Must gather your party before venturing forth. Let me have 1, 3. I'm wondering if once I get past that doorway, is it possible to single file maybe? Let's try 2. Can you get through? A lot of yeah, so like I was saying, like even modern games you get sick of doing the activities, so like at some point you don't have to do the mines anymore, right? At some point you can just focus on what you want to focus on, which if you want, there is sort of like a main quest you can beat. 4. Okay, let's get everybody grouped together, and I'll try and figure out. The reason why I want to stop is twofold. One, I mean, you don't need to sit there for 4 hours. 2, I want to Google to see if there's any way I can heal myself or what it's like to leave and come back, how much of a pain that is. So what I might do is I might off camera run back to town, heal up, and then sort of get back to this spot. So you can, you don't have to be bothered watching me do that kind of bookkeeping. So let's save one more. Whoops. Can I? No, I can't save because I'm in. Right? Because I can't do. I think I have to get back out here in the hall where I can do single file. So yeah, I'll do one last save. I'll sort of Google around and see what's up, and figure it out from there. But as you can see, like, aside from what I'm just saying, like it gets a little repetitive. There's a lot of things. Like there's certain activities, and you sort of can do them over and over. And the maps will be different because it does procedurally generate them, but it's not like the activity itself isn't that different. Like I said, there's 3, and after you do like 3 mines, that seems like a pretty good number, right? So once I'm out, can I single file? save. Okay, so let's keep going back. Okay, I guess I gotta let these two go. Old games had this problem. Like I think the original Wasteland had parts where you had to like move people individually and separate the party and stuff like that. And it wasn't quite like this because you didn't have to worry about the pathfinding so much. But I remember it being a little like ugh. So I don't hold any of it against Darklands because one, I find the good stuff in this game to be so interesting and different from what I've experienced most of the time that I can be quite forgiving. Two, it's an old game. You know, like it didn't have the last 30 years of ease of use to fall back on the way we do now because of games like this. So, all right, let's see if I can. Man, can I not save? So that might be something interesting to remember. Like, you might not be able to save once you get to this level at all. Like you might have to, once you get here, you might be all in. Okay. Yeah, I apologize. I'm just trying to get them to, they got to move to the right spot. But then it doesn't, but then you got to unpause because when you choose their number, it automatically pauses, but that doesn't let them, it's just sort of getting used to what's happening when I'm pushing the buttons. So what happens is I get close and I want to hit U to go up. But to do that, I have to reselect them, which pauses it. So now I hit U, and then I hit spacebar, and then we're all up. So now let's save. And I'll do a timestamp here just because of the, and I can delete all the rest. 09, 23, 16, 32. Okay. So yeah, once again, thank you very much. Black Lodge Trivia Night. YouTube channel is Black Lodge Trivia Night. We do actual plays of RPGs. That's our main thing. We have a podcast, Damn Fine Coffee. We have a second sort of podcast called Bookhouse Boys, where we sort of explore, take a rule book off the shelf. We go into it in depth. We have Let's Plays of, I did Demon Souls. I'm doing Darklands. I'm going to do some Starfield. There might be some Star Trek Bridge Crew. I'm not really sure what's going on with the stuff that Matt's doing, so we'll figure that out. Twitter at Black Lodge RPG. We have the other ones, but I don't know what stage they're in. We have Discords, but I don't know what stage that's in. If you want podcasts, the audio versions of our actual plays of actual RPGs, right now we're doing Call of Cthulhu Modern Scratch and Menace Under Otari for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or the Bookhouse Boys, where we went into Index Card RPG, or we have 3 episodes of Damn Fine Coffee, where we sort of take broader topics of RPGs. That's all anywhere you can find podcasts. It's just Black Lodge Trivia Night. So thanks again, and I'll get all this back up and running, and we'll figure it out, and we'll go from there. So take care.